Good morning. Allie, Hein, Kim, Rudy, good morning. You guys, it's good to be back. Been on a little trip. Good to be navigating time changes and whatnot, and just the excitement of the coming weeks, really, just adjusting to just a new life. It feels like a new life. So it was nice to go to England really quick. The purpose of that trip was I'm an adopted kid, and my birth mother found me 5 years ago, and I went to her 50th wedding anniversary celebration. I have 4 brothers from that family, and yeah, it's a really exciting part of me, and to be able to go there was really, really fun. But back to work. This is an exciting time of the year. Many people starting to think about this change of seasons. And so what I want to do today is just really dial in our strength work and kind of where we're at. I'm going to just tip myself up just a little bit more. There we go. And I also want to just kind of dial in some of the foundation training stuff. I've got a lot of athletes, some who are just super stoked with how they are feeling physically. Maybe their fitness isn't quite where it is, but they don't have pain that they used to have, whether it was getting off the bike, or whether it was low back pain, or whether it was just this general fatigue and stuff. So I do find the really big important part of foundation training for all of us. So I've got my stable floor today. That's just a big piece of wood that I use. My ankle is doing great. We're going to start with some foam rolling. I'm just starting to run again in a more organized way. I've been on a return to run program, I think, for 2 weeks. And yeah, I think it's going pretty well. So let's grab the foam roller, everybody. And we're going to get way up here on the hip. And it's really important that I'm going to show you this. So if you have stripes on the side of your body, that's where we're working. This muscle up here is called your TFL. So we're going to work right up into that TFL. It does join the glute as it journeys down the lateral part of the leg to get to the IT band. But I want to make sure that part of the body is really open, or has the opportunity to not be sticky. So TFL is an important muscle that can really inhibit hip function, and we want to make sure we're foam rolling it. So we're right behind the hip bone. Okay, so right behind it, working on that pelvis through that TFL muscle. We need our hips moving well, for sure. Okay, let's take that right through and unload your body a little bit. So that's this top leg. And let's let that foam roller come onto the hip bone. And as it comes onto the hip bone, I want to gently drag the skin across the hip bone. Okay, just nice and easy there. And it's skin on bone, basically. Okay, let's hit the other side. And we're on that TFL. So we're behind the hip bone on the foam roller. It's a pretty durable part of the body, so you shouldn't have to unload too much body weight there. We're just working through that TFL with the pressure and the body weight. Okay, good. Let's unload the body a little bit. Take that top leg to the front. Roll the hips to the forward just a little bit, and then drag the hip bone across skin and bone, across the foam roller, a little bit of cross fibering there. Okay, good. All right, let's work through the lats, a little bit of upper back. And then we're going to take into a little bit of on the ground foundation training. So thumb is up, work through the upper back, you're into the armpit a little bit. And then take that big reach forward. And then big reach to the back. The wall's in my way, but you guys should be able to, as you can see, I'll move forward. Okay, so we're right here, foam roller right in the armpit, reach forward. And then just reach back and then just come right back to the front. 2, to the front, 3, 4, and just one more of those. And 5. Okay, good. Let's hit the other side. Up into the armpit. And just drag it across. Nice and easy. And we're just going to reach. And then open. Reach. And then open. This is called an open book. And we just need to have that freedom through the upper back. Okay, good. Let's get right onto that upper back. Hands behind the head to support the head. And then just a nice big extension and a little bit of a toggle. Nice and easy. And then just move about an inch. So get to that next little vertebrae there. Extend. And then just nice and easy through the upper back. And good. Oh, a little popping, a little cracking. Popping and cracking is good as long as it's pain-free. It just means there's motion. We really want that motion. Okay, so next part of that, we're going to foam roll. We're going to work that top part of the quad. We may journey down into the belly of the quad a little bit, but not too much. So you're face down on the foam roller, right up in that hip joint, that hip capsule. And then we're working down just a little bit into that quad. A little bit into the belly, not very far. You can feel it start to light up and heat up with a little bit of discomfort. That's kind of how you know you're in the right place. But we just want to work through the whole top part of that femur. So right here, okay? Switch to the other side. Face down on the foam roller. Hips are almost flush facing down. I've got this hip just up just a little bit. Working through there. Nice and easy. And good. And good. All right, so let's take the foam roller, just put it off to the side. We may come back to it. And from right here into that lateral half kneeling position, hips to the back and then to the front. So from right there, again, the only reason that the chest drops is because the hips go back and then back to the front, okay? Hips to the back, we got 5 of them. 1 and back. Hopefully most of you guys are getting more and more comfortable with being down on one knee. I think most of you have figured out whether or not you like to have a pad there. 4, 1 more, and 5. So this half kneeling position just starts to get into the adductor a little bit more, so that can free up the hip even more. 1, just 5 of these, push your hips back. 2, 3, 4, good. And 5. All right, good. We're going right into some squats. Yesterday's workout, we worked with Sydney. You're going to see Sydney in the second part of our training program when I start doing more filming, doing more with Sid. She's doing amazing. She's battling it out with Taylor Nibb right now for all of the QOMs around Boulder. So being very strong, both young ladies, but they've got a nice healthy thing going on. Okay, so hips to the back, nice and strong, hips behind your heels. And we're just dropping straight down into that frog squat, body weight squat, just to kind of set the hips in motion. 10 reps. 2, that should move with ease for most of you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, body weight squat, 8, 9, and 10. Good, shake that out. We're gonna go into a body weight squat with a single arm reach. Okay, so right there, toes are slightly faced out. Heels are inside of the toes just a little bit. Drop into that squat. One side, the other side. Come back up. Same arm reaching, 5 reps. Ready? Drop. 1, 2. There's 2 reps. Down, up, up. There's 3. Up, up. Good. 4. And 5. Good. Shake that out. We're going right back to a half kneeling position. Out to the side. This time, we're going to let the hands come to the front. Little bit of counterbalance. So as we push the hips back, the progression of that movement is to get the hands off the hips and into the front. When they come to the front, they start to activate and switch on the glutes to the back. Ready? We got 5 reps. 1, 2, keep your eyes up a little bit. 3, 4, 1 more. And 5. Good. Switch to the other side. Open the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And 5. And good. Back to that body weight squat. 1 reach, 2nd reach, leading with the left arm. We got 5 reps here. Drop into that squat. 1, 2, and back up. 1, 2, and back up. Good. Reach, reach, and 1 more. Reach, reach, and back up. All right. So most of you don't need to add a floor. I'm going to add a floor. Okay. Single leg, tap down. Hands will be on your hips. We're going to do a quarter squat. So first thing we want to do is just get comfortable on one leg. So everybody onto your left leg, and you want to make sure that you're not tilting sideways, right? So tilt yourself, make sure that you're loaded up nice and balanced, and that your forefoot is taking most of the load. So hold that nice and strong. I have a soft knee, right? Other leg back. Left side, soft knee, eyes up, chest up, forefoot loaded. Hold that nice and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully you held on to that. Okay. Right side, same thing. Standing on the right leg, soft knee, hands on hips. Hold that nice and strong. Chest is elevated. We have good space between ribs and hips. Hold that strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. We're going to turn that right into a single leg Superman. So we've got a set of 10, and I'll give it to you here on an angle. All right. So left leg, right leg is going to be back as we do our single leg Superman. Most of you with tight hips, that back hip is going to do this. And you're going to rotate and open that hip up. The goal is to keep that hip, this one, down. So if you find yourself here, make sure you try to keep your hips facing down. That's always going to be a cue that these are headlights, and both headlights are down into the ground. We're going to add that progression with the hips to the hands to the front. Okay. Left leg stance, nice and strong, space between the ribs and the hips, tip and reach. Leg, really reach that leg back. 1, tip and reach. 2, I'm not going to be that good on this leg, but I'm going to work it out here. You're doing it perfect. 3, 4. We got 10 of these. 5. Should feel a little high hamstring. 6. 7. You're always welcome to hit the chat box and ask questions. 8. 9. One more. And 10. So we reaching as far as possible between your fingertips and your heel on that single leg Superman. For me, my lower leg is on fire while I do that. Okay, right leg, single leg stance, soft knee, nice big tip and reach. 1. That was horrible. Here we go. 2. 3. Ultimately, you want the position of your hands to be palms up. 4. I'm struggling with that just a little bit. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. One more. And 10. Okay, shake that out. If you don't think sitting on a plane for 9 hours is impactful, trust me, it is. Okay, nice wide stance. From right here, hands on hips, and we're just going into a nice easy glide. 1, 2. We're gonna load up in our next movement. 3. So you're gonna need 2 number 1 dumbbells coming up. 4, 5. Push your hips back. 6. Load up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so from here, you're going to need number 1 dumbbells. Today, I will be using 7.5s. So most of you guys should be either using 7.5s or 5s. And some of you guys will definitely be using 10s. I don't think anybody should be using more than a 10 on this movement, okay? So single leg RDL, that is a single leg tip at the hip, double arm. And we're just going nice and easy, single leg stance, tip at the hip, come straight back up. We got 10 reps here. 2, 3, hold your posture really strong. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that back hip down. 9 and 10. Switch to the other side. Same thing. So we want chest open, heart open, space between the ribs and the hips. Head is in a nice strong position. Single leg stance, tip at the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, back into your wide stance. Keep your number 1 dumbbells. We're going to split the knee and just come right back to the middle. 2, back up. 3, back up. 4, just split the knee, push the hips back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and bring that back together. Okay, now let's grab 1 of your number 2 dumbbells, 1 of them. So with mine, I just dial it up. And for me today, I'm going to use a 15-pounder. So you should have one number 2 dumbbell. We're going back to a single leg stance. We've got 10 RDLs, single arm. Okay, so just doing the best you can. Left leg stance, right arm has the kettlebell or dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever works for you. Okay, so left leg stance, really load up the forefoot, soft knee, and just tip and reach, and then come back. So I'm going to give you that head-on view, because as you tip and reach, I want you to go ahead and rotate a little bit through your thoracic spine. Okay, so as you tip, you drop that right shoulder just a little bit, and you come right back to it. That's going to load that left hip just a little bit more. Okay, let's get this set going. We got 10 reps. Right arm holds the weight, left leg stance. Tip and reach. 1. With your left leg, you want to maintain really strong contact with the ground with your big toe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, same thing other side. Left arm holds a dumbbell, right leg stance, nice big posture. Soften the leg. Always feel stable before you start tipping. 1, don't forget to push back the back leg as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, big toe on the right leg, strong into the ground. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, keep that dumbbell close, okay? Let's grab a foam roller. We've got one more set of that number 2 dumbbell, single leg stance. Move my ground out of the way. Back into the foam roller, working through the calf muscle. So when I'm training people, I don't train muscle, we train movement, right? So the back line of the body is a line of muscles that are all encapsulated with fascia, and they function as a team. If anyone on the team isn't doing their job, or they're stuck a little bit and they're not gliding, your tissue needs to glide, then we're going to get in trouble. And it's either going to be lower leg, typically down by the Achilles tendon, bottom part of the calf muscle into the soleus. Sometimes it's high hamstring. Sometimes it's because the hips are stuck as well. But I think we've done a pretty good job of getting the hips unstuck today. All right, so we're going to start with that lower leg, work that out just a little bit. Foam rolling can also add to the hydration of that back line. Okay, have a seat on the foam roller, and we're just going to work through high hamstring, a little bit of lateral glute if you want to, and we're not going too far down into the belly of the hammy, but we definitely want to work through the hamstring. Somebody called me out of my biker tan the other day. This is what happens when you don't swim and run, and all you do is bike. You end up with like bad biker tan. And England wasn't exactly the place to be balancing out my tan. So right here, straight leg, nice and foam rolling through that lateral glute. If you want to go all the way up into that hip, go there. That's part of that back line. If you've ever had sciatica, oh, it's a nasty, horrible thing. I've had most things. I'm old enough now. I've had plantar fasciitis. I had that acutely from a bad landing when I was running. That was horrible. I've had high hamstring stuff. Most of my stuff, quote unquote, has really gone away since I started doing really consistent practice of foundation training. So believing in that method of self-care and movement-based training has really helped me as an athlete. And I'm not just laying around. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Playing golf, running now, doing triathlon. You know, I don't want to say no to life. I want to say yes. All right, right hand, left leg. We got 10 reps. Nice big breath. Create space between the ribs and the hips. Tip and reach. Oh, it's way better on the hamstring. 2, 3. No one said that foam rolling only had to happen at the beginning and at the end of a session. 5, maybe when you're out running, it would be bad. 6, 7, 8, 9, good. And 10. All right, same thing, other side. Right leg stands, nice big breath. And just tip and reach. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, press into that big toe. 8, 9, and 10. Good. So we can add a little bit of meaning to that movement by understanding what the goal is. The goal is to load the back line. All right, nice wide stance. Square off the outsides of your feet. I want your dumbbell or kettlebell right in front of you. And it's about 1.5 feet in front, especially if you're tall, all right? So now, square off the outsides of your feet. That puts your hips into internal rotation. Internal rotation is a very good thing. Okay, drop the hips to the back just a little bit, hands on hips. We're gonna take the right hip and aim it mid-thigh to the left leg. Come right back. And you notice that my shoulders and hips move together, 1, 1. This is the best way, this is one of the best ways to deal with any kind of knee pain. If you can get your hips loosened up, thus making them stronger, or the opportunity to make them stronger, your knees are going to be under less duress in your landings, et cetera, et cetera. Right here, nice and easy. Come back. A little bit tighter on this side for me. Across. Couple more. Across. And if you'll see, my butt's back. Across. And across. All right. Get back into that nice wide stance. Kettlebell or dumbbell out in front of you. You're going to push the hips to the back, scoop your hands from the bottom into a founder. From right there, I want you to anchor in. So you're going to switch on the adductor muscles. Hold that. 1, 2, just keep the muscles turned on. 3, 4, 5. Release the anchor. So now everything's off and soft. And we're forward folding to the top of the dumbbell. Reach the hands way out in front. See if you can open up that low back. See if you want to just toggle just a little bit through those hips. Drop your head, look back behind your knees. Head back up, hands are on your knees, and gently push yourself back up out of that. Right back to the founder, anchor, anchor in. Switch on the adductor muscles, switch them on, hold. Toes are now grabbing the ground. So grab the ground with the toes, switch them on. Anchor is on internally, toes are grabbing the ground. Release all of that now, relax, be soft with the hips, forward fold to the top of the kettlebell or dumbbell. Push the hips back, drop the head. Toggle a little bit, side to side. And hands back to your knees, head up and relax. Okay, good. Let's stay with that number 2 dumbbell. I'm gonna get rid of my nice stable surface here. Put that over here. And we're going to go right into a lateral step to an overhead press using the number 2 dumbbell. So again, I've got a 15 today. We're not going to work balance. So we're not going to a single leg. We're just going to go 2 feet to 1 foot to an overhead press. Okay. We're going to go 10 to the left and then 10 to the right. We'll take a little breather in between. To the side, 1. To the side, 2. Every time you press up, think about lifting your rib cage. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you can't no longer, if you're starting to get fatigued with the overhead press, just do the lateral step. So you can just finish there. Okay. There's always, if you need an adaptation, just make it. Don't quit on the set. Just make the accommodation. Okay. Hitting the other side, 10 reps. Step and reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. All right, set that dumbbell down. We're going to keep it close because we're going to use it again. From right there, we're into this 90-90 position. Right arm going overhead, right knee down, and we're going into a big forward stretch and open of that whole side of the body here. And then bring that hand back. Nice big reach. 2, and back. Open, length through the rib cage, lift it. 3, 4, taking your time. And 5. Most of you will remember that one of the key things is to keep the front side of the body open. If we're open on the hip capsule, if we're open through the chest, if we're open through the belly, then the back line can actually work and it will work better. That's all your posture, okay? Posture is good. You typically will be better off. All right, left hip to the front, left arm up. 1, nice big breath. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, good. Let's work through that adductor stretch. So we'll stay with the 90-90. So this is 90 degrees on the back knee, 90 degrees on the lead knee. We're going to take this out to the side. We did this on Mobility Monday. 2 hands to the front. We want this knee way over the toe. That's giving us ankle mobility. All right. So if you need to pull the foot back so that you can get the knee way over the toe, then do it. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then same thing other side. Knee is out to the side. The knee is going way over the toe. We're rotating away from that lead knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, good, and 5. Now, some of you have bad toes. And I mean that in that when you go into a 90-90 half kneeling position like this, and this back foot, we ask you to tuck that toe under. There's no way you can get up out of that position. So if you need to put a shoe on, it's going to give you a little bit more support. The other way you can get more support is by putting your heel and toe up on your mat. Okay, so this is just how to accommodate if you have a toe issue, or if you find that you have a hard time getting out of that position. You would put your foot right on the mat and be able to not have to flex your toe quite so much. My toe is almost straight in that position. Okay, so put something under your forefoot if you need to for this next movement. We've got 2 sets of 6 from a 90-90 half kneeling position. So we're midsummer or end of summer, leading into championships. We've got more fall racing. We now probably can produce as much force as we need to for this year. So the goal is to keep you strong, not necessarily get you stronger here in August and September. We want to keep you healthy and super accessing everything that we've done this year, everything you did back in February, et cetera, et cetera. So the next phase is called rate of force production. How quickly can you move the muscle that you have? So what we're going to do is go from 90-90. We're going right arm right here, and we're standing up and pushing as we come back up. All right, so we've only got 6 reps. The speed is from the lead hip. Stand up quick. 1, back down. 2, back down. 3, just 6. 4, 5, 1 more. 6. Now, if you're struggling to come off the ground with that, there's 2 things you can do. You can go less range of motion and start at the top. 1, 2, like that. Or you can decrease the amount of load. All right. So this next one, left arm has the weight, left leg has is down, right leg's doing the push. 6 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, for my last set, I'm going to lighten the weight. Take it down to 12.5. And that's also rate of force production is also known as power. So how quickly can you move into a position? So whether it's a sprint or whether it's just being able to get up a hill quicker, it's important to be able to have that in place. All right. So the other option on this last set will be to just use body weight only. So if that bothers your knees, all we're going to do, you're going to start at the top. When everyone else starts at the bottom, you're going to drop and pop. The difference is you will get a stretch reflex. The rest of us won't. We're very muscular. You'll be a little bit more fascia based. Same result is that you will be faster at contracting muscle and you will be faster at moving. Okay. All right. I'm staying low. Everybody else get into the position that you're most comfortable with. And we're just popping up. Powerful move. 6 reps. Ready? 1. Good. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. All right. Good. 12.5, maybe a little bit better for me. Okay, ready? Other side. Nice and quick. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. All right. Let's put the dumbbells away. Come back to the middle. Good. Good job. All right. So having a seat on the ground. Whew, nice and strong. you want to be able to move your hips, right? So as you're just sitting here, lengthen your right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, and just kind of shuffle. When we're sitting, we're much more in a closed position, which means you're unloaded, which means you're dealing with less gravity. So everything will move just a little bit easier when you're working with less gravity. Okay, so right there, that little move of lengthen the right leg, lengthen the left leg is just kind of toggling the hips, okay? Bring the knees up, feet under the knees. Your hands are going to be right on your thighs, okay? So hands right on your thighs. We're going to lengthen the right side, come back, and then lengthen the left side and come back. Lengthen, lengthen. The hand goes for the ride, but it also applies a little bit of pressure down the quad. 3, 4, 5, 6, little hip toggle, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. Let's stay right where we are, right foot on left knee. Let the left knee just kind of fall to the side. Opens that interior part of the hip up. Bring that back, other side. If you need to give it a little bit of a push to the outside, give it a push. Right there, just nice and easy. Good. Right side, let it just fall. Let the knee just open up and fall. And then same thing, other side, just let it fall. It's very natural to have one side a little tighter than the other. And you know, it's funny, I had, we are done, but I had a little conversation with an athlete yesterday, and he works with me and he works with another trainer as well. We tag team. And he said, you know, Kate really noticed that one of my hips was much more mobile than the other. And I was like, okay, do you have any pain? Do you know, he just qualified for Xterra World Championships. So we know he's healthy. We know he's strong. We know he's fast. And noticing a little bit of tightness on one side isn't necessarily a recipe for disaster. If we were the same right side, left side, and guaranteed that my right shoulder is the same as my left, mirror image, then I might try and fix that. But I don't try to fix stuff like that a lot of times if there's no issue, because we don't know if structurally this shoulder is the same as this shoulder or this hip is the same as this hip. We just know that that's how they are functioning in a healthy state. If they're not in a healthy state, that's a whole different conversation. But if you have a healthy body and feeling, then you're probably in a pretty good position. Just notice it. Don't try to fix it. Some of you have watched the interview that I did with Michelle Dalcourt. If you didn't, it is on the on-demand app. Michelle is so smart, and we talk a lot about different positions that people live in when they perform and how we can help them move better. Some of you know who Timothy O'Donnell is. Tim runs with a little head crick to the right. And it was something early in our relationship that I kind of wanted to fix. And I called up Michelle and I'm like, you know, this great athlete that I have, he turns his head to the right, and I kind of want him normal. And he was like, well, what's normal? You know, who's to say that down the middle is normal? That's definitely not normal for him. He was a very, very healthy guy doing a lot of great performances. So we kind of just left it. And you never know, because a lot of times if you're tipping your head to the right, it might be because your hips want to go to the left a little bit more. So we don't really know, but don't judge yourself too hard if right side, left side are off. Anybody have any questions? Missy and I are doing way better. We just got to get through this jet lag a little bit. It was easy for me to get up this morning. I've been up for a while, just kind of coming back to life. Hopefully you're all feeling good. Don't forget, if you have questions as part of this premium group, you guys can email me anytime. It might take me a couple of days to get back to you, but for the most part, you guys are really my priority. Abby, thank you for the peaches. They're amazing. Yeah, and everybody else, Rudy Sr., it was great to see you on TV at the Collins Cup. I know Rudy didn't have the day he had hoped for, but at the same time, all of these guys are really leading into different races. So yeah, Collins Cup could use a little bit more work as to format and how they maybe compensate people or whatever. But I was just the same way. Really proud of Rudy doing so well. Collins Cup, I think he had a solid day. I think his best is yet to come. And if he had a killer day at Collins Cup, we might worry about that in a different way. So I'm looking forward to seeing him today and getting back. And we have a little window to build a little bit more strength before Kona. And I hope you're all doing amazing. Anybody that's coming to St. George, let me know you're coming to St. George or Kona. I want to see you all. Okay, take care, everybody. Stay strong.